Water is an odorless, tasteless liquid. Humans are comprised of anywhere between 50 and 65% water. Water covers 71% of the Earth's surface. Water has many uses, and without it, we wouldn't have the most popular beers on the market. All of those water establishing shots led to something we could have just led with in the first place. Someone about to stupidly watch the video that kills you after 7 days. By which I mean Nyan Cat.
No, you need to watch it now.
Well, he sounds desperate. Are we about to find out that he waited until the last fucking minute to show someone else the tape? I mean, I procrastinated in high school too, but this is some next level
What's so scary about it?
Well, I imagine he means the contents that are actually on the videotape once he played in the VCR, not the actual physical videotape. The files are in the computer! Kid leaves the room because making sure that she actually watches the tape would keep Naomi Watts from finding out that people are still dying because of this haunted videotape, thus preventing the movie from happening. Also, why didn't he put the tape in the VCR and press play before leaving the room? This guy is putting way too much faith in this girl to walk up and play this tape all by herself.
I played it, I just didn't look.
Smart House Kid has extended the same 5-minute grace period as Joan of Arcadia in the first movie. We still haven't figured out what happens to people if they just leave the house when Samara runs out of the TV to kill you. I'd like to see her keep up with a Dodge Charger if her main method of transportation is crawling. Creepy kid may have more color in his face in this movie, but he's still super creepy without any CGI or makeup.
Thanks, Rachel. You know, it wouldn't kill you to call me Mom now and again.
This is an issue that should have been resolved years ago, but my question is, why does he call her Rachel every time he says something to her? Even saying Mom that much would be too much. I'd make a bonus round for this Rachel but everyone from me to you to YouTube would die.
Fresh air. We have a yard.
Family moves into a new house in a horror movie cliche. There is no one standing in or around the ambulance to keep Rachel from walking right in. While they were putting the kid into the body bag, a new paramedic ran in with a sheet and was super disappointed that they had already put the kid in the bag. Knowing it was his first day, the supervisor says to him, "It's okay, Neil. We can just put the sheet over the body while it's in the body bag." 30 seconds of body bag opening. So after Rachel made a copy of the ring tape at the end of the last movie, and the first time anyone dies, it just happens to be in the small seaside town to which she moved. What the f*** is this? The first movie firmly established that Samara only comes out when she's killing someone whose 7 days are up, but now she's just popping out of body bags whenever she feels like it?
They made one copy.
And given that Aiden is still alive, they showed it to someone. And if they weren't total dicks, they would have told that person how to avoid Samara's wrath, which would prompt that person to make a copy, triggering the worst pyramid scheme since whatever skincare product your annoying cousin has been messaging you about on Facebook. Emily just happens to be within viewing distance after Rachel's interaction with a cop. It's super convenient for Rachel that there are never any cops around when she wants to snoop and gather information important to the movie's plot.
Hey, you! Get away from her!
We're understaffed here. I can't be desk sergeant and make sure people don't walk back here. That's Fred's job. The house where, within the last 24 hours, a murder occurred is not taped off or being monitored by the police, allowing Rachel to snoop as she pleases. The movie expects me to believe that Rachel is able to find a key to the house in the first place she looks. Even if younger Sharon Carter told her, it's not like she was Jake's girlfriend or anything. She was some stupid chick from class who wouldn't know where the hide key is located. After the last movie, Rachel thinks destroying the tape is something that will work for some reason. This is a waste of everyone's time, but especially for actress Naomi Watts. Evil videotapes make tiny Nazgul sounds when they're being destroyed.
Not here, Samara.
You tell her, Rachel. It's time we told these demons, who don't play by the rules of our physical realm, where they can and can't haunt people. This is way too obviously a dream, because none of it makes sense. They'd have to change the Samara rules to make this real, where she doesn't even need the tape to transport into people's lives. Oh, wait. Also, how does Samara know where Aiden is? Is this some sort of psychic ghost power that Samara used in her short time in the ambulance with Rachel? None of this is ever explained, which will become a theme for this movie.
All you have to do is call my name and I'll follow your voice. Even if I have to come right down into that nightmare with you.
I believe Wes Craven called and told you that would be copyright infringement. This movie is a massive waste of time, but still probably only the 100th most wasteful of 2005. Well, isn't this the most amazing collection of VHS movies ever assembled? All DreamWorks movies. That is brand loyalty that is missing in movie libraries these days. Also, collection includes this bullshit movie in which some asshole in CinemaSins was an extra. Dear Shadowing.
Aiden!
What was Rachel expecting would happen when she let Aiden run off by himself earlier? Man, I haven't seen parenting this bad since Home Alone. This fly exists only to force the viewer to make a connection to the first movie. At least that fly had context. This one is just randomly coming out of an impossible place. Also, if I saw a fly in a shitty fairground bathroom in any circumstance, I doubt I would be suspicious of something supernatural happening. Did Samara simply wait until Aiden and his mom randomly went to a farmer's market/antique show, and for Aiden to walk into an empty public bathroom before she revealed herself?
When did this start? Was it last night or this morning? I don't remember.
God damn it! I'm beginning to think that if her only child Aiden disappeared, Rachel would be a better person and a better mom. Also, if Rachel was really concerned for her kid, she would keep her eyes on the road when she drives.
Was it your nightmare? You're sick, alright? And we need to know what started it.
We just dealt with the supernatural in the last movie. I saw Samara come out of Jake's body bag, then I burned the tape, and now my kid is acting weirder than usual. I wonder what might have happened. Actually, the movie never definitively answers this question either, so we just have to assume Samara is back for financial reasons. Also, didn't Aiden have some sort of almost psychic powers in the last movie? Why isn't Rachel asking her kid important questions involving Samara and her powers right now? Maybe she forgot the first movie too.
Was she in your nightmare?
You know, the one who shall not be named. Voldemort. Samardamort.
Rachel!
Hey guys, I'd like to assure you that in the first 30 minutes almost nothing happens, but there will be a deer attack, so you just gotta be patient to get to the good stuff. I feel like the antlers should be doing more killing Rachel here. What was the internal dialogue for this deer? He seems pretty chill, just walking away, but then suddenly decided they were worth f***ing with? I think the scariest part of this scene is the thought of dealing with the insurance company later. Also, cars never survive like this. That car is f***ing totaled, but I think there was a feature in the 1990 Volkswagen Jetta called Deer, which specifically gave the car deer murdering capabilities while keeping most of your car intact. It also came with a CD player.
Don't stop. You said don't stop.
Good advice you seem to be failing to heed right now for some reason, even after you witnessed a deer army wailing on your car. Even more deer enforcements show up late to the party for some reason, probably because they were attending Bambi's funeral.
Don't stop.
Motherfucker, you guys already stopped. You've been stopped for nearly a full minute now. The correct command is go, but for some reason Rachel continues not stopping. Guys, we gave that mom and her kid hell. Now just let them leave. And be sure to tell Barry and Gary down the road not to detonate the hoof bomb. So far, this movie is so stupid I'm going to make up a sin. Earlier, when I scanned the entire house in the small amount of footage we were shown, I never saw a thermometer once. So how do they have one now? Magic? Was Samara not wet enough when she was there, so she took the water from the fish tank? If so, then Samara is also addicted to goldfish.
My son is very sick, and I'd like to talk to someone who...
Knows directions to a hospital? Because he definitely should go to a hospital if his temperature is 93.9.
Well, then I'll hold for the on-call nurse.
On-call nurse? Get in the car and drive your kid to a hospital. Leaving him at home by himself is one thing, but this is a whole new level of bad parenting. The problem with all this is there's no consistency between this movie and the last one. The last one had a simple premise. Watch the tape, die in 7 days. This one seems to be, burn the tape, Samara turns into a prankster demon who develops new powers and plot devices by the minute. This is apparently the first time Rachel has ever experienced a power outage.
Aiden? Honey, the power just went out. Are you okay up there?
Holy shit, lady, are you really too lazy to just walk up the stairs and check on your kid who is most likely asleep? You'd rather just yell and wake him up? There's no doubt I would be disturbed by this in real life, but mainly because I just painted that.
I saw something.
But I'll continue to be vague about it because understanding. I hope they keep doctors, nurses, medicine, and medical equipment at Rachel's office. If not, I have no idea why this is where she decided to go.
About my story, not now.
Wait, I thought this was a super boring town where nothing happened. Why is the majority of the newspaper staff still at work this late in the evening? Guess there were lots of school board meetings and cats in trees.
She can hear us. She hears everything, except when we sleep.
Because when we're sleeping, we don't usually say anything. So it's tough to make out the words. Also, how the f*** was she able to haunt your dreams while you were sleeping? They're just making shit up for Aiden to say that sounds creepy and forgot to make sure that it made sense.
She can't hear us when we sleep. What does that mean?
We have to sleep.
I hated this kid in the last movie, and now he's destroyed all the goodwill he generated in the first one.
I'm gonna go home and get some of her things. Then we'll leave here and never come back.
Because Samara only operates in this small Washington town. She bought a house here. Her family's here. She volunteers at a soup kitchen. She's not moving anytime soon. Also, I'll leave you here with this stranger who probably won't believe me if I tell him the horrible truth that you're possessed by a dead girl. And even though the stuff I'm getting could probably wait until tomorrow, I'm leaving you here anyway.
It's not the best water pressure. That works.
You don't need water pressure for a bath. Those pictures that show Samara is getting ever closer mostly make me wonder why she waited so long to possess Aiden in the first place, and why she didn't just jump right on in instead of whatever this is. Man, do demons ever hate open doors? It's number one on their list of turnoffs, ahead of people who use there, and they're wrong, and Hitler. Samara starts flooding the house again because she loves Home Alone. Samara decides to open the door because DreamWorks paid a lot of money for this special effect. Whoa, Mom, can you come back in 5 minutes?
Why is she doing this to me?
That's a really good question, Aiden, because if she could do all this, then why the hell did she ever bother with that damn tape? Also, Aiden uses the pronoun game in front of a stranger so that he'll think he means Rachel and not some chick who was thrown into a well by her parents and made a videotape that whenever someone watches it, they die in 7 days. Oh, you're right. It sounds stupid when you put it that way.
Having some kind of dream.
That Samara cannot hear, but she can be a part of, or something.
I know this sounds completely crazy, but she's here now. She's found us.
Rachel decides to cryptically explain Samara's story, leaving out crucial details and also playing the pronoun game so she actually ends up sounding crazy. Also, did she just insinuate that getting Samara out of the well and burying her allowed her to do all this crazy shit? If that's true, then why did she continue with her standard MO? She could have just possessed and killed whoever she wanted immediately, instead of doing all that bullshit with the videotape. This is like the genie being free but still living in the lamp and granting wishes.
You take his picture and tell me why she's in it.
When did you prove this hypothesis? Did you take pictures of Aiden after you saw these? Oh, Samara made a sequel to her best-selling Ring video, and it might be just as terrible as this sequel is. Also, did Samara co-direct her video and this memory with Salvador Dali?
Have you left him alone? Abandoned him?
Doctor, if I may, I believe I have recorded evidence of Rachel habitually abandoning her child. If you just go to iTunes and search for The Ring...
You can't have him, Samara. You're going back to where you came from.
God damn! Rachel risks whispering this while child services and several doctors who are already pissed at her are in here. Ah, surprise Gary Cole! Also, creepy house Rachel needs to investigate just so happens to have an open house on this very day at this very hour. I'm sure the Morgans had other things hanging on the walls in their house, yet the mirror from the video is the only thing that left a lasting mark on the wall. Even with Samara's newfound omnipotence that I'm sure Rachel is well aware of, she decides to go into the basement of her childhood house alone. Any banal movie moment can sound creepy if you add creepy sounds to it. I'm no mother, so I can't really speak in this situation, but after taking just one look into that basement, I'd probably say, well, my kid had a good run, leave, and then the movie would be over. Hey look, antlers! Because the movie had that moment with the deer earlier. I still don't know what it means or how it fits into the story at all. I mean, was Samara a deer hunter? Or was she guilty by association of knowing a deer hunter? Or did she watch the deer hunter? It's interesting how the only things in the basement are the creepy props we saw in the first chapter of this story. How convenient! The first new thing we see leads Rachel right to Samara's biological mother. And this whole time I thought Rachel would need hard work to figure this out. No wonder Samara is f***ed up. Her mom made her the creepiest scrapbook ever. Article entitled Young Daughter in Bathtub, which means virtually nothing, has a story under it that is nothing but vague nonsense. But you better believe that 3 different paragraphs of that nonsense were circled, gosh darn it. A light goes out in the basement, because I guess Samara is near, but nothing happens. Rachel leaves the house without incident or running into Gary Cole again. And the only payoff for all those lights going off is Aiden waking up. This disappointment basically sums up this entire movie. He was at 97.2 earlier, but he went straight back down to 90.3, and nobody noticed that?
You're freezing.
Yeah, lady, no Do you see that giant monitor behind him? Aiden, who is now Samara, is going to make Dr. Temple pull out this needle and plunge it into her own neck. I don't know how she knew there was a needle there, or that sticking this needle with air and it would kill her, but props, Samara, props. Hospital security is so lax, this kid is able to kill a doctor, get dressed, and mosey out without anyone noticing.
But Samara, she never cried. Never. Except when her mother would try to bathe her.
Samara has the same weakness as the aliens in Signs. Movie relentlessly reminds us of what everything is in relation to that flashback Sam Aiden transferred to Rachel.
And all those pictures she'd been collecting, they finally made sense.
And those pictures ended up in a suitcase that's inexplicably in the basement of Samara's adopted parents' house. And Aiden's walk home from the hospital was completely psychotic deerless.
Every few years, one of you comes to see Evelyn. She's like a freaking patron saint or something. Got a problem with your kid, don't you?
Is the movie now trying to tell me that Samara is possessing children? That their mothers showing up to talk to Evelyn is a regular thing? And implying Samara's been running a successful possession side business in addition to her 7 days death tape? And these mothers had the wherewithal to investigate Samara origins to the point that it led them to this psych ward? And if possession was her game all along, surely one of those attempts would have been successful over the years, right?
That song. I know it.
Yeah, they all do.
It's never seemed weird to me, all these mothers knowing the very song Evelyn sings. Basically, I just think everyone is crazy, so I'm never disappointed.
Some days I sort of have a feeling.
A feeling?
This is about your child.
You get a feeling on the exact day that someone decides to come here, something that requires massive amounts of investigation and people breaking privacy laws to help find you.
It's about yours.
Wait a minute, are you saying that all the other mothers who came here didn't know about Samara? They just had a kid who was acting weird and somehow ended up finding Samara's mom? You see, this is some half-written bullshit. Nobody tried to figure this out before it got filmed.
Why did you try to kill your baby?
Because my baby told me to.
Are you sure? Because your baby seems pretty pissed about it.
What did I do?
You let the dead get in.
Okay, fair, but what did Evelyn do? Was there some evil vinyl record that kills you in 7 days that she let her baby listen to? I guess if you don't actually have a compelling, scary story to tell, spouting cryptic, eerie-sounding lines like this is the next best thing.
What should I do?
Be a good mother. Listen to your baby.
That is an amazing about-face to what you said just a minute ago. Evelyn was supremely unhelpful until the movie enforced a time limit on this visit.
You can't really leave till the hospital says it's okay.
How do you know they didn't? You're not coming from the hospital. There wasn't some mad search for the missing kid. And don't you wonder how he got here? Yeah, he walked, but don't you naturally assume he got picked up and taken here?
I'll tell you what's wrong if you promise not to take it. But that's only if you promise.
Max thinks Aiden won't see this obvious red blinking light, and then doesn't notice Aiden taking a peek at the camera. Max's tombstone will read, "He died of ignorance." So did the hospital ever try to call Rachel about her kid leaving? And the dead psychologist? And did she ever go to the hospital to check up on him? The thought of Aiden hugging me may be almost as frightening as the thought of Samara killing me. Either Samara bothered to put Max in a truck after killing him, or she did all her usual ghost stuff to him and he ran out of the house, started the truck, and then died. Either way, I'm not buying this shit. I'll just leave you here in a running truck. We're only in the middle of a neighborhood where I guess nobody notices things like a truck running all morning and night with a guy sleeping on the driver's wheel.
Are you sleeping, Rachel? I am. She makes me sleep all the time now.
But only now do you guys get to talk in your sleep for some reason. I mean, I guess it's possible Rachel hasn't slept since Aiden told her we have to sleep earlier, but I'm more infuriated that this is even a thing. Also, Aiden has Inception dream powers that allows them to have this shared dream.
She won't stay if she knows you'll kill me.
Earlier in the movie, Sissy Spacek predicted this because she said her baby, Samara, told her something similar to this. So I guess Samara was also possessed by herself?
You must have had a nightmare. It's alright. We all have them.
I thought you didn't sleep.
I never sleep.
See? Also, what happens when Aiden's little human body dies of sleep deprivation? Also, Samara's possession absolutely hinges on the mom being okay with her kid never sleeping. You'd think Samara would have learned how to fake sleep just so she could keep the ruse going. But we're dealing with a very stupid ghost here. Could be she's still just a kid, too, but you'd think after 30-some-odd years of doing this, she'd learn something. Is Max still hanging out in the truck being dead? Did she even try to hide this body until she figured out what to do with Aiden? I don't know who Tony Ventura is, but whoever he is, he's going to have trouble sleeping tonight. Also, those pills Rachel crushed into the PB&J actually made Samara fall asleep? Isn't she a ghost or a demon or something? Or is this movie saying Samara's asleep because Aiden's body is asleep? Ah, f*** it, I give up. These pills will knock a child out for hours, or until they are almost pushed completely underwater. I'm still wondering how killing your son is going to both free him of Samara and keep your son alive, but I'll just go with it at this point. Oh, wasn't that nice of Samara? She emptied the tub as she left so there wouldn't be any continued drowning. She's taking this kind of well, actually. Oops, I said well in front of Samara. Gotta stop doing that.
Everything's all right, honey.
Except for the dead body outside. That's not all right. And the dead psychologist, and the negligent hospital, and the fact that I almost drowned you, but you're alive, I'm alive, happy ending. Is there any reason why we can't just throw the TV out the window before she slowly walks to the screen?
All she wants is a mother, and she'll keep coming till she finds one.
Maybe she should also take an acting class or two so that she doesn't do weird in front of the potential mothers that makes them want to drown her. Also, are you saying you were wrong about her MO at the end of the first movie? Or are we just changing it to fit the narrative of this movie and hoping no one notices? Also, okay, I'll accept that Samara just wants mommy now and is going to put the videotape murders on the back burner. But that still brings me to ask what was wrong with Anna Morgan, Samara's adopted mother. From what I know, she seemed like a nice enough lady, but Samara killed her horses and burned scary images in her brain, which ultimately led her to kill Samara and kill herself. You had a perfectly good mom, Samara, and you f***ed it all up. And now you want to be the child of a woman who isn't even there for her kid half the time? Samara drags Rachel into the television to claim as her mother, and is that really how this works? Samara is afraid of water, yet she lives in the well instead of, well, adjacent, or in the house that was featured in that video. Rachel is now in the well by herself. Is there some sort of preparation Samara has to go through before making Rachel her official mom? Is the mayor being a dick about the parade routes again?
Her only way out is always open.
Yeah, but she also uses a videotape to get around it, so I don't know how physically closing this well matters. She climbs in and out of this thing all the time, and climbing at a much faster clip. You'd think she'd be able to catch up with Rachel, but you'd be wrong. Spirit World water and rocks knock Spirit World veteran Samara down this well. Okay, fine, she's jumping off the cliff to get back to the real world, but why isn't there a distant TV somewhere she can jump into? Isn't that what Samara does? Or does Rachel just not know the Elvish word for friend?
What happened? It's over, honey. She's not coming back.
Could you just tell him what happened? The last movie you f***ed everything up by not telling your kid but in the second one you're all like, nah, I won't tell him how I closed the well and everything. He wouldn't understand.
Promise me something.
Yeah, anything.
Just call me Rachel. At least for a while.
That is all he ever called you until this one time after you asked him to promise something. He said Rachel about 5 times in this one scene alone. You mean the original director of Ringu and Ringu 2 directed this movie? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he didn't have as much say in this film as he would have liked.
Cast it into the fire!
Annie's not here, Mrs. Torrance. They're here.
Don't stop.
But that was awesome.
You brought me here to watch a video?
Marge, there's just too much pressure. What with my job, the kids, traffic snarls, political strife at home and abroad. But I promise you, the second all those things go away, we'll have sex.
Well, I asked you to copy edit it, and you rewrote it.
I walked by, gave yours a glance, it didn't look right, so I just figured I'd refine it a little. That first paragraph has to have more clarity. The reader's gonna understand it. You don't mention Colson's name to the third paragraph.